Hello and welcome to this review for the board game Viticulture, the Essential Edition. This is a updated version that they released a few years after the original one, and basically this is now the one that you can get if you purchase a new copy. It's from 2015, so it's not a new game. Why am I doing a review? Because the nice people from Stonemaier Games sent me this game so I could make videos of it, and one of the things that is required is making a review. Also, Stonemaier always says when you do a review, make sure you're being perfectly honest, even if you're not positive about the game. So that's what you're getting, an honest review. Spoiler alert, I'm not negative about the game. If I really didn't like the game, if I wouldn't make a review, even for Stonemaier. I would not make a review if I loathed the game, and yeah, Viticulture is far from that. So let's start with the box itself, the product. Yeah, I'm sort of used to Stonemaier offering good quality products, and if you happen to be one of the few people who get something that is damaged, you can always contact them and they'll just send you a whole new thing or new components or whatever. But so far everything has been in order for me. Yeah, the box itself is fine. Always a beautiful linen finished rulebook, so it feels nice in your hand. And I have noticed that rule books from Stonemaier Games are always very well done, because when you learn a new game, whether you're an experienced player or not, you can only learn so much from a rulebook. A rulebook basically only needs to tell you so much, and while you play it, you understand what it all means. So a rulebook could give you a long explanation of what you're supposed to do and what that means, but you can also just say this is what you're supposed to do and that'll lead to that, the end, and that gives you a very thin rulebook. And if you're a more experienced player, you'll already understand, oh, that's what it does. So yes, the rulebook, very well done, but I've come to learn that that's a basic thing with Stonemaier Games. If you, by the way, if you have no idea what's in the box, please watch my setup video or the tutorial video. They're both on the short side, and that'll show you everything that's in the game, including those little glass tokens that count as grapes and wine. They're nice to look at and they're nice to hold. So, and the game board shows you it's a worker placement game, and each space shows you in text what it does for you if you use that space. So that's very handy. That does make it not language independent. A lot of games use icons instead of words to show you what it means. In this case, it isn't language independent. And I haven't looked up if this game is available in other languages. I have the English edition, which is fine for me. But if you have trouble with the English language, you might want to check if it's available in your own language. And also, yeah, I just showed you the player board. This is what you keep to yourself when you're playing this game. This is in front of you. And as you can see, it also has everything written on it, what it does. You can build buildings, the price is there, the function of the buildings is there, even how you can turn grapes into rosé, or as they call it, blush wine, or sparkling wine, champagne. It's all very clear, also fine material. So the game itself, I mentioned worker placement. If you maybe have no idea what all these board game terms mean, do visit me on my Facebook page sometimes, or link yourself to my Twitter account, because I share everything from my Facebook page on my Twitter account. Because now and then I write small pieces that explain board game terminology. Viticulture is a worker placement game. Quite simple. You have a worker, this little person, and you place it on the board and it does what it does if you put it on that particular space. That's worker placement. In my personal experience, worker placement seems to be a very popular, a very well liked gaming mechanism. Um, and yeah, I'm behind that. There, it's simple, but it's fun, and it can also create some competition because only so many people can be on a space before it's fully occupied, and you can't use it anymore, even when you really want to. And you've, in this case, you've already used the big worker that allows you to do an action even though it's occupied. So yeah, it's worker placement. What I also like about it is the phases that it goes, because often a worker placement game will be start of the round. Everyone, you go around the table placing one worker, and when everything's placed, you take everything back and you reset the board a little bit. That's it. Viticulture has a few steps, and that makes it, that's the original element that makes this game its own unique thing. The steps, you have the start of the round where you place the rooster that determines the player order. Then worker placement, but only one half of the board, and then the second half of the board. So I thought that was very well done. I've seen people speak of viticulture, and I always thought, well, for starters, I don't drink wine. I've got nothing with the theme. Doesn't matter. I really like the game. As a non-wine drinker, I enjoyed it a lot. The theme didn't bother me at all, because it's basically you have your own vineyard and you make wine and you sell that wine. The end. Yeah, and the play is fun as well. It's on the lighter side. It's not a super easy game, but it's not very complicated. The only thing that I did, that stuck out for me was the people. As you can see, we've got two people here. They look nice, but there are some people on the cards, and I didn't read anything about it, but I already have a feeling that the people that you see drawn on the cards, just like these two people, they're not photographs, they're drawn. The people on the cards, I think they're people that the designer, or the people that these people who made the game know. It's people they personally know, because it takes place in I think, well, it takes place in Italy a few hundred years ago, I believe. And some of the people don't really look like people who would be living in Italy around that time. So one even reminded me of the actress from that 70s show in Orange is the New Black. But anyway, so yeah, I wouldn't really think of running into her in Italy 500 years ago. But yeah, I'll wrap it up here. I'm very positive about the game. If you like worker placement, I can't imagine you wouldn't like Viticulture. This is only the base game, and I've been told that the expansion called the Tuscany expansion is a perfect fit to go with this base game. It's one of the few expansions that everyone says if you have the base game, you really have to have this one because it completes it. But I don't know yet, but I did feel already that the base game itself was a very good game. I've never played the original version, so I also don't know the difference between how it was released, I believe in 2013, and this newer edition from 2 years later. But yes, good game. If you like worker placement, Euro games, you're definitely going to enjoy this one. I know I did. So yeah, once again, a positive review for Stonemaier Games, and it was an honest one. So on the other hand, as you may have noticed, I'm quite easy to please. So I don't often see a game that I think, no, not gonna happen. Anyway, thank you for watching this review. Feel free to leave a comment if you like, and hopefully see you for the next one.